understand what you're saying. No.
There it is.
Let's hear it.
Well, let's hear it.
Talk to us.
Beadle and Decker, taking on sports talk like no one else. Michelle Beadle,
I'm just helping. I'm helping America one by one.
Cody Decker.
I 100% believe in revenge. Revenge is a great thing.
Back to the sports.
Back and ready for more.
Every time I tune them out, they pull me back in.
It's Beadle and Decker. Here's Michelle and Cody.
Hello, everybody. It is another day here. It is Thursday, which is normally our Friday here on Beadle and Decker, but this is a very, very, very special week on Beadle and Decker because Michelle Beadle, as you know, living the single greatest life of all time in Las Vegas. She's been there for the entire NBA Cup, and those of you that watch this show or listen to us of any iteration that has been Beadle and Decker, you know that Michelle Beadle is not the social butterfly she comes off on the air. But this week in Vegas, social butterflied up to the max. She's been all over the place. She's done everything, been everywhere, hung out with Adam Silver. I believe she's up 30 grand at her slot machines because that's what she does. Rich just keep getting richer. Michelle gets to lead all the guest host week, and we've had a killer list of a lineup all week long. We've found out of South Carolina 4 times in a row. South Carolina Broadcaster of the Year. He joined me on. Very lucky guy when it comes to my friends in life and in work and just about everything. So, in life and in work and just about everything. So, son of a bitch, how you doing, my guy? How you doing, my guy? For many, many, many years. You love yourself some football. You love yourself some fighting. You love cover all of it today. And listen, we're also going to get into some movie talk. Let's be real clear. You're a dude that's actually experienced like everything lows at this point, but like it seems like you're about to The Rip, starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, coming out on Netflix. I mean, dude, doesn't get much more. The Rip, starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, coming out on Netflix. I mean, dude, doesn't get much more.
Like I'm in Montana somewhere. I'm actually. This is what Christmas looks like in LA, guys. Right behind me. Enjoy. No, it's one of those situations, man, where you get lucky enough in your career to have a moment like this and to make a movie like this with guys like that. And I count my blessings and just think of myself as one of the luckiest sons of bitches in the world, because it's really having seen what Netflix plans to do over the next month to launch this particular film into the global market is nothing short of staggering. I was so impressed, and it is nothing short of staggering. I was so impressed, and again, just so fortunate to be able to experience this, and again, I can't. Again, once in a while. They put the bat in your hand and you drive the ball, 550 feet from home plate. And that was it. That's really what it came to. And you drive the ball, 550 feet from home plate. And that was it. That's really what it came down to. And being surrounded by really wonderful, supportive people like that, A-level people like that. I was the one bum in the room. There was no doubting that, but they lifted as I had to. They bum in the room. There was no doubting that, but they lifted as I had to. They lifted my game to theirs. So it's been great, man.
Absolutely badass, dude. And we'll talk about that, and of course all your work that you've been doing. It's going to be absolutely killer. But let's just get right into it, dude, because we got Thursday Night Football and carrying 49ers fan, and bro, yes. I don't know, carrying 49ers fan, and bro. Yes. I don't know if you know about tonight's Thursday Night Football game. We got Rams and Seahawks, both teams. Your team is just in the cellar looking up.
I don't know what iteration a 10-4 team is not in immediate playoff contention, where they're like going to win out. So it's like yeah, man. Listen, you've got as much as I hate the Rams from the depths of my soul, that's a very good football team. Matthew Stafford's a stud, MVP candidate, and then you've got Sam Darnold. You got what that guy's doing, and what that team has put together, and it's again. You got 2 11-3 teams. Listen, it's good for us. One of these guys has to lose, and that means there's room to move into second place. But also, Dak, to be fair, the absolute decimation that has gone on with that 49ers defense, in particular, losing Bosa, losing Kurt, losing Warner, Fred Warner. I almost said Kurt Warner. They've lost him a long time ago.
Dude, it sucks when they lost Kurt Warner.
I showed up and said the Niners just lost Kurt Warner. You should hang up on him. Losing Fred Warner, losing a lot of their big defensive, and then the hits they took, not having Ayuk, who's probably never going to take another snap again for the Niners, But then you get guys like Ricky Pearsall who stepped up, and so that team is absolutely overachieved. And then you got, I don't think Mac Jones. I mean, how can you not look at the way that guy's played football this year and think he's going to hang around another, be a backup, So they've been very blessed. But again, I think that at some point, dude, it's like, is it your strength and conditioning? Is it your medical staff? Why does this team seem to suffer devastating injuries year in and year out?
And
I don't know. Maybe other teams do, and I'm just hyper focused. Oh my God. I mean, again, I don't know what went on with Ayuk. I don't know why they couldn't make that, but he is, I mean, at this point, he's obviously played his last snap. Hopefully you can get something, for him substantial. It's deeply disappointing, but I got to say, I'm extraordinarily happy for that team being 10-4, given what they've been through this season.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, I'm glad you brought up Mac Jones, because I wanted to ask you about Mac Jones. Watching him and what he's accomplished this year, I mean, you mentioned Sam Darnold already. Yeah, Sam Darnold having himself another great year after the surprise year he had last year over there with the Vikings. Dude, Mac Jones is giving me kind of Sam Darnold feelings. You just mentioned he ain't going to be a backup next year. Somebody's going to give this guy a shot.
Why would you not, dude, given how crazy it is right now with starting quarterbacks? It's like, and you've got this really crazy, like, you've got like the Bo Nixes and the Drake Mays. It's like, where are these guys? Like rookies that just come out of nowhere and just light it up. And then you've got like teams that are legitimately kind of decimated. What happens in Miami? Tua's on the bench now. Like there's a lot of room for a guy like Matt Jones, as talented as he is. And I always felt he was really talented with the Pats. It was the wrong fit. And I do think that, Kyle Shanahan in particular has expertise with developing quarterbacks like that. And again, you got to hand it to Brock, man. What did Mac Jones go as a starter? 7-3 or 8-2? I don't know what he went, but he was impressive. And Brock just comes in there and started lighting it up again. Had those with that 4 picks against. I try to erase that from my brain, but like Brock's played some really good football.
Yes.
And I don't think a guy as good as Mac Jones is, with what he's going to get on the open market, is going to sit still. I think it's impossible.
Completely agree with you. Fully, entirely agree with you. But listen, looking at the game tonight, you mentioned, I know you hate the Rams. I'll freely admit this, dude. I'm a Raider fan, so I got no dog in this fight whatsoever. I have no dog in any fucking fight whatsoever.
You just decided to torture yourself for the rest of your life, bro.
Yes, it's a choice, and it's a choice I continually keep making like a fucking idiot.
Can I digress one brief moment? Where does Max Crosby wind up next year? Because he ain't staying there.
Yes, he is.
I just don't think
Don't take away the only fucking good things we have. We don't get much. I get to watch Max and his weird ass tattoos terrorize people.
What do you mean, dude? You have Max Crosby, then you have Mark Davis's wonderful haircut. How could you? Those are the two greatest, bro. Do those two things wonder twin power and form a 13-3 contender? Form of Flores' last Super Bowl winning team. Sorry, brother.
You know what?
I had to.
You know what?
There.
One, I get it, but also fuck you. Like, cause what the fuck? I'm a Raider fan. I don't need to catch your strays. I catch strays every fucking weekend.
We've been friends for years. I get to do this. That's the deal, dude, right? Anyways, sorry, brother. Continue. So you're talking about the Rams and kind of where they are right now. And it's funny, Rocky and I just saw them really take apart a really talented Lions team. And again, Lions have their own injury issues, but that team is so impressive. As much as I can't stand
dude, listen, I get that, dude. I get that. Listen, I and jump on to the Rams. Fuck it. I'm going to go on. They're a fun team to watch. I'm from Southern California. Okay, they were in Orange County as a kid, but they're here. And I got to say, Matthew Stafford and this team is so fun to watch that, listen, 2 years ago, a lot of people were shitting on them, like going like, oh, they're not a real team. I'm like, dude, you guys are sleeping on Matthew Stafford for some reason, and that's fucking batshit to me. And
I mean, dude, Stafford's playing his best football. I mean, he really is. He really. And by the way, dude, if the rumors are that Aaron Donald's going to sign for the playoffs, if that's actually a thing, and you're going to insert that guy back into the defensive line, I mean, come on, man. I mean, if that happens, it's like It's pretty crazy, dude. The level of talent that you're talking about there. But again, on the other side was Seattle. Who thought that team would be 11-3 right now?
No,
Who thought that those guys would?
I did not. I thought last year
bounce
was.
Back like
I thought for sure Sam Darnold was just playing above his skis. Because even when he signed this deal, like I was happy for him. Like make no mistake, but I was like, dude, like I still looked at Sam Darnold, even though the 14 wins last year, going like that's still I see ghosts. Sam Darnold. I'm not ready.
Sure.
To fully get on board.
Right.
Now I'm on board. How can you not be on board? Now I'm just pissed off the Raiders didn't get their hands on him, although like it would have mattered. Sam Darnold would be constantly under duress nonstop. But this is a hell of a game tonight. And as you're looking at the matchups, frankly, you need them to tie, Joe. Right now you're in the wild card situation, and the only thing that can technically help you is a tie.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's also kind of this game feels like it's like for the soul of the NFC West. It's like I wish that, and also, is that Niners team good enough to make some run into the playoffs and do what your Raiders did in 1980 and become a wild card and so on? That you've got at every skill position. So, no, but it is a crazy statistic that you go it act division in the West, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. And the Cardinals are there too. That is fair. But listen, I think it's a fool's errand. If you're a gambling person, it's Matthew Stafford's award to freely miss out on. Keep in mind, Matthew Stafford didn't throw a pick all season, and then he had a game where he threw 3 picks. No problem. No one really gave a shit because he's still just that damn good. So listen, it's going to be an interesting race to the end of the season. Your NFC West is batshit, and I'm really excited. We have Shane in. Shane, how you feeling about your Bears right now, my man?
Dude, I'm still feeling wonderful. Should I not feel wonderful, Joe?
Shane, how do you going to feel if they leave Chicago and they're no longer playing?
Oh, we're going to get into that. That's in the rundown. Don't you worry.
Bullshit. We'll get to it. It's not happening.
I can't wait for the Indiana Bears.
They're not.
By the way,
going
you know what I got to say?
We'll get to it.
Yeah, I like that. I like what Ben Johnson's done. I think that team is extremely talented. I think that when you think about fans that are diehard and deserve it and go out in that weather and watch those Bears play, it's like Chicago,
in that shitty stadium,
Midwestern. I know that old ancient, but it's like, listen, man, it's like I grew up. I still have on my wall in my guest room Earl Campbell and Walter Payton, who are my 2 favorites of all time. Sweetness. So it's like that. I'm a big old school Bears fan. And I think it's great that the Caleb Williams, everything's kind of worked out for them, man. And by the way, they suffered for many, many, many years. And
yeah.
I like them playing the way they're playing.
Reaction. Yeah. I mean, you fucking think
the NFL to not have a 4,000-yard quarterback? Can we at least keep the stadium out of Gary or Hobart, fucking Indiana?
Hobart. It's like when Al Davis wanted to go to Irwindale. Where the fuck was that?
We don't need to get into that. He went to Vegas. Listen.
No, we do. Yeah.
Listen, say what you will about Mark and his weird fucking, you know those lampshades where you can just shh. That's what I see his hair being. I'm assuming he can just kind of cover his eyes whenever he feels like. But I'm just thinking say what you will about that creepy fuck. He got them to Vegas.
He did indeed. But I wonder, are they going to be able to keep those crowds? Are they going to keep those,
Of course they are, because everyone wants to fly into Vegas to watch their team beat the shit out of my Raiders.
At some point, dude, are they just going to play Cirque du Soleil?
They should. Dude, just the barrage closed, right? Move Beadle's love to the stadium.
It's going to be the Raiders versus the Flamenco Showgirls or the Cirque du Soleil trapeze artists. They might win that game.
Guys, and get ready for a third quarter. We're going to stop playing football, and we're just going to have the World Series poker tournament. Get ready. Fucking Chris Moneymaker and Johnny Chan.
They just cut away. Yeah, during halftime, they just bring the World Series of Poker down on the 50-yard line. That's the rest of the game.
Because the Raiders aren't going to get to the 50-yard line.
No.
I feel good about it.
They feel safe.
Oh, son of a bitch. All right. There. Listen, that's enough football talk to start the show. Rocky, let's get your ass in here and let's rock.
All right, let's rock's coming up. Hang on. Just got to do 2 things.
All right, Rock.
All right. So
I love it.
This is the part of the show where I, come in and read some questions that have nothing to do with sports. We do have some sports in here, But here, I'm just going to toss it back to you guys while I get situated. Okay. First off, I've been asking every guest host this question, so we're going to just start right off. What's a special interest you have that might surprise people?
Besides masturbating, let's see.
That's not special. You're not special.
I don't think that's special.
The way I do it, pal. You don't know. It's
I'm
very
sorry.
simple.
Do you do the underhand grip?
It's also asymmetrical, and I'm ambidextrous.
Leaves room for the thumb to explore.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I've been playing or trying to play keyboard for a long, long time, and I finally got one of these Rolly keyboards. It feels like it's actually kind of coming together for me. Since for years I would try to play keyboard and buy these Ableton, these programs to kind of do synth stuff, and I finally figured out, like, okay, this might be really a cool, because I'm always like fascinated by music, fascinated by composers and you name it. I just love music, but don't have the affinity for actually creating it. So this is something that's interests me now, because it feels like it's practically, again, and I think they've simplified so many things now, and they've kind of streamlined these processes so much that it's easier to do.
Jesus, got a couple of raccoons fucking in the corner, Joe. What's going on? I've given a couple answers this week. Yesterday I mentioned that I'm into chess. The day before about my affinity that I have for musical theater. What am I going to throw on next?
I'd say that too. Yeah, I'd say that too. That would be a weirder one, but yeah, musical theater. I love it. Cats.
Man, I'm trying to think what another thing that I just like that's kind of out there that I do. I mean, I love to smoke weed, which everybody knows. I love to have a beverage, but I don't think these are really out there into the realm. I work out. Okay, I how about this? I work out in a way that keeps me stronger than everyone you've ever physically met, and I don't know why I do that.
That's definitely a special interest. I think that counts. 100%.
It's just pure fucking ego lifting, dude. I don't know why I'm doing this anymore.
Vanity. Just vanity. Yeah, you can say it. Yeah.
No, it's ego. It's pure unadulterated. I don't need to do it. It doesn't even make me technically look better. It makes me, I'm just it just makes me a blunt object that you can just throw through a fucking wall.
Nothing wrong with that, pal.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
So,
for sure.
So I admit my workout habits are entirely for my ego. There you go. Continue.
Okay, great. I asked a version of this to Jen yesterday, and I'm curious for your answer. If you could time travel, if necessary, and be at any championship or playoff game, where do you think you'd go throughout all time? So if time travel is necessary, you absolutely can.
I said 1932 to when Babe Ruth supposedly he called his shot. No, he fucking didn't.
Yeah, right. And he's also hitting a 70-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, be real clear. He's playing against your fucking nephew.
Yeah. Man, that's so good. I think I'd go back to I think I'll go back to Frazier Ali 1. I go back to Madison Square Garden.
Oh shit.
That's a good one.
Where everybody was there, man.
How did
Norman Mailer
forget
and George Plimpton and you name it, like it was like the who's who of Walt Frazier and Barbara Streisand and like all the people who are at that fight. That would have been something else, man, to see that.
And now that you just said that, I got to throw Rumble in the Jungle on that list, man.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, that would be.
Yeah.
What fictional fight would you like to go to more than any fight? Because I'm between two.
Creed, Rocky 1.
Rocky 1?
Creed Balboa. First one.
Is it fucked up that I would say Drago v. Creed? Is that fucked up from 4?
Wow, when he got killed? Death from above in Vegas? Jesus, dude.
Creed is down.
You get the James Brown fucking walkout.
James Brown watched a murder that night.
He did.
I guess he did. Rock, that's a really good one.
Right?
Or I'd go to that one blood sport where Van Damme punched that guy in the nuts.
Oh, classic. Classic. Mine. Oh, I got one.
And then did he act like he was blind? The guy threw that shot. His face just caught it.
I'm going back to a little alley in 1987 in Los Angeles so I can watch Roddy Piper get into a street fight in an alley. With Keith David, or is it Keith David? Yeah, Keith David. Yeah. In my opinion, pound for pound, one of the most realistic actual fistfights ever put on camera.
Put on the damn glasses.
He wouldn't wear sunglasses.
Yes,
He refused
right.
to wear the sunglasses.
He tries to hit him in the nuts, and he's like, "You dirty
Put on the
motherfucker!"
So dumb. It's so bad.
Oh, what a fight!
Oh my god.
I would take that 10 out of 10 times.
Great
That's
fight.
a good pick.
That was a great fight.
Rock, what do you got?
A movie that should have gotten a sequel, never did.
This is cheating because I've used this for my TV one, so I'm probably going to come up with a second one. But the TV show Firefly did give us the movie Serenity.
Or Serenity, I'm sorry. Jesus.
And I would have liked another Serenity movie. I really did enjoy it. Really did.
I guess this one I guess this one is happening now, so I can't say, but Heat was one I always wanted a sequel to. When they were still kind of young enough to, pull that off.
No.
Joe, do you know if Bill Fichtner's in it?
I don't think he is, dude. I don't think he is.
Crime.
You know another one I really loved. A movie I loved as a kid, and I actually used the gunfight in Smoking Aces in the elevator is the gunfight between Burt Reynolds and Henry Sullivan at the end of Sharky's Machine. I love Sharky's Machine.
Dude.
That was just like, if you've never seen that film, it's dark. Burt Reynolds directs it, and he gives Bernie Casey all these great character actors, and Burt gives them the floor. Like, he lets them do their thing. It's just such a great, use of a guy who knows, I'm the superstar, but all these actors I love, I'm just gonna let them do their thing.
It's so
I love
funny.
that movie,
dude. The fact that you brought up that specifically, that everything in the elevator in Smoking Aces is some of my favorites. But I actually remember, I think I got slightly drunk one night and texted you late night because I don't know why it popped in my head, and it's a shot that you made that lived rent free in my head for like a decade. I don't know why it popped in my head. I had to ask you about it. The scene in the elevator with Ray Liotta, before the last stand kind of happens between him and the other character, when he dips his head down and you have that reflection in the elevator door where his face just turns almost into a skull, is like my favorite shot of anything you've done.
dude. I had them build me that was a certain kind of finish, so it would be, so when we lit it, it would become, and you'd just see his eyes go completely shadowed.
Yeah.
And it would be kind of skull-like. And it was like, it worked beautifully. I love that. I think that's one of the gnarliest gunfights I've ever shot. It was just that great close
the aerial
quarters,
view at the end of them both going down.
Yeah, it's so good.
By the way, that was in the old days, Zach, which, like, who was it? Ray Sigley, and I forget, it might have been Eddie Fernandez, the two stuntmen that shot each other. Those are full load blanks from like 2 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, when you would still do that. And I mean, you padded them up and everything else, but those guys were just fearless. And by the way, shooting full load blanks in that small a space, because obviously you built the elevator, is so like, it's ear splitting, it's scary, it's percussive, you name it. But yeah, man, that was, it just has the, and I remember we were using ball bearing guns, and Ray got glass in his eye, and I made fun of him because he would make fun of me if I got hurt. And was like, it was always just like back and forth. But no, that we specifically chose that finish for that moment.
Dude, if those of you who have not seen Smoking Aces, what the fuck's wrong with you? Rock, what do you got?
Okay, moving on. Without getting too controversial, I guess, what's a sequel that missed the mark? You were excited when the concept of it, and then when it came out, you're like, shit, I just wish that was something else.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is lazy, but Rock, you and I discussed it yesterday.
I already know your answer.
I love the original Indiana Jones trilogy so much. And I love Steven Spielberg. I love even Steven Spielberg's worst work. Period. I do. I will just lie to myself and tell myself I loved it because it's Steven Spielberg. The way I did for 4 years with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And by the way, I'm freely admitting Dial of Destiny is worse, but that didn't have Steven Spielberg's name on it, and this one did, and I will freely admit, despite 6 months of me convincing myself I loved this movie, I fucking hated this movie.
That's fair.
Hated it. Fucking hated every second.
I got to say, the one that pops to my mind is Predator 2. I thought that was dog shit.
You didn't think that was kind of fun, though? It's a batshit movie.
And I got to tell you another one that I was really let down by, because I really loved the first one, which is not one you typically think of, is Cocoon 2. The first Cocoon I thought was great.
Cocoon 2. I will freely admit I have not thought of Cocoon 2 since I saw Cocoon 2.
Oh, there you go, dude. There you go. It was just like, so there's another one. Poltergeist 2 was.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't for me.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
awful.
one for me.
By the way, given how
I'm
great
not a
the
movie
first-
guy, but can I give you guys one?
Yes.
100%, Shane. Throw it out there.
Why is there no Dodgeball 2? There's room for it.
dude, Ross and Thurber's a good buddy of mine. I could ask him. You know,
Please.
I'm sure he's talked about it because it's such a beloved, but yeah, I'll ask him about that. I'll get an answer for you guys. I'll get it right
Chris
from the
from New
source.
Jersey says Matrix 4 was complete disgrace from the original trilogy, and I wish I never watched it. In my head, it's not canon. Well, Matrix 5 is coming out, so you might want to add it to the canon.
Are they doing a Matrix 5?
That's
they
what
are
they're
doing
saying.
that. They're doing Matrix 5.
That's what they're saying.
Jeez.
All right.
That's so great.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that first Matrix is so tough to beat, but I thought the second one had a lot of great, the motorcycle thing, the whole freeway.
so
I thought there was some great stuff in that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some great stuff in that.
Got anything else, Rock?
Yeah.
Yes, I got a few more. What's a hang on, sorry. An unmade movie you'd like to see. So something that maybe got announced. In the old days, they used to do this a lot more. They'd kind of Golden Globe.
I know what
just kinda
Rock's
put out
answer is.
posters and all that stuff. Oh no, I have. Tons
I know
of
exactly what Rock's answer
Well,
is.
I don't know. It may surprise you. I got a few. But do you guys have a movie that was announced, was talked about, but never quite made it?
I can't think of anyone up. I know I have them.
There's a movie
And
called
I'll-
White Jazz that I really wanted to see, and I still haven't fucking seen it.
Yeah, that's mine too. Yeah, I didn't make that one.
That's great.
I just go through my career and talk about what movies I didn't make. Yeah, it's tough, man, because you'll hear an announcement, and you're like, "Oh, that's gonna be great," and for whatever reason, I kind of wish they'd made the Nick Cage Superman just because it was so. I feel like it was so bonkers,
A little bit.
Yeah.
just to see Nick Cage as a Kal-El would have been
It
interesting.
had to be batshit, right? It had to be just off the charts batshit. For that reason alone, I want to see it.
Yeah.
My answer is in the same ilk. I guess I got to go superhero movie. And I'm not saying this because Ben Affleck is starring in your upcoming film, The Rip, on Netflix next month. I'm saying it because I really fucking liked his Batman, and I really wanted to see what he was going to do with a Batman movie with Ben Affleck and facing Deathstroke. I'm not going to lie. I fucking wanted it. I still want it.
Well, I would have especially wanted that if Ben was directing himself. That would have been incredibly cool. Because, by the way, I think what Zach did better, I thought he nailed Batman in a way that felt very much like the Frank Miller Batman.
Yeah, I
and I
agree.
love like using Alfred as kind of like Q, like this kind of build, designing, having the computerized thing. It's like all the stuff. I thought that was really great. I like that a lot, and it would have been interesting to see, as talented as Ben is as a filmmaker, what he did with that. But I got to imagine that the concept of directing yourself. In a movie like that has got to be daunting, man, and I think probably very difficult to wrap your head around.
Definitely.
Rock, is your answer the Kang Dynasty?
No, it is not the Kang.
Okay, I think you're lying, but I thought it was
No,
the Kang
Kang
Dynasty.
Dynasty, that would be cool to see. But honestly, if I had to pick one, oh man, there's a script out there called Jaws 3 People Zero, and it is so fucking bonkers and awesome. And it was originally going to be what Jaws 3D became. That would be just the title alone is fucking awesome.
Jaws 3 People Zero is
People
fantastic.
Zero.
I mean, it's a
an amazing
phenomenal title.
Like, come on. So, but the script is insane.
It might be the
part of me
greatest I've
wants
ever heard.
A part of me wants it not to be a Jaws movie, though, somehow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know what I found out about it on a podcast, one of my favorite podcasts, Best Movies Never Made. If anyone's at all interested, check it out. It's a great.
By the way, Joe, it's right here in the chat. Somebody wants a Smoking Aces 2. There was a Smoking Aces 2, though, wasn't there?
There was a prequel, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a prequel, but not. I'd love to do. I'd had an idea for one, just like an idea for A-Team 2 that we never got to make. Which was kind of. Yeah, the opening of that movie, the opening of 18-2 was where you saw Hannibal with these sled dogs in this coming over these hills, and when you pull back, you realize you're in the desert. It's not snow at all. He's in Qatar. He's in the desert somewhere, and he goes to the Citadel, and there's a guy holding Face because he's lost in a game. He's lost his big gambling thing. And they have to get in there and rescue Face. It was awesome. I still have the drawings, the conceptual drawings.
Bitch, can we please?
What's
Disney,
that,
I
bud?
know you own Fox now. Can we make this, please?
That was
what
pretty
the
cool.
hell? Disney's
That was
got the
pretty cool.
keys.
Joe, your A-Team movie is so fucking fun to me, especially the R-rated version, which I flat out think is the superior version. Dude, I love that fucking movie.
Yeah, the director's version. It's funny. That's the one I think that they show most is the extended cut.
And it's a blast of a movie. Another one in here. Chris from New Jersey points out Constantine 2, which supposedly may actually happen. I agree. I think
it's happening.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's happening. Stuff. Yeah, and they're ducks in a row. Jesus.
Fifth Element 2. No, leave that alone in my opinion. But then again,
I mean, what could you even do with that?
I have no idea.
Do we have any movie on the Lincoln assassination?
Lincoln.
Oh wow.
Does Lincoln cover the assassination?
Well, at the end, he's killed.
I don't think it does.
No, he's killed at the end. It's not shown. Remember, everybody freaks out.
I want the assassination to happen within the first half hour in the fallout.
Oh, and then the chase to find
John
Wilkes Booth. No, nobody's ever done that, dude. That's actually a good idea.
That's interesting.
Joe
There you go,
will be
Joe. Take
in
it.
the lab later
yours.
today, Shane.
Hey, you see someone asked Chris from New Jersey said, Joe, any chance of a Wheelman 2?
I like Wheelman. That was a fun one.
I think, listen, man, it's all analytics, and if it makes, and it's like, I think, again, some of these things take a while to gestate, but it's funny. Jeremy Rush wrote a really good sequel that I think it goes into a slightly different pathway, but it's kind of it's in the same universe as Wheelman. That I think is really called Racer Punk. That's really good.
Oh, cool.
That I think he's going to make, but it's not specifically Wheelman, but it's in that. Like I said, it's canon. I guess you can.
It's in the Wheelman universe, Joe. You got to learn the lingo, bro.
No, I mean, you said it.
World building, pal. World building. We're all about world building.
It's all about the universes.
Universe building, yeah, exactly. I got one more.
One more, bring it.
Extended universes, yeah.
Yeah, Jesus, all about that now. Okay, favorite fictional character of all time. That is kind of a daunting one, but
Okay. I got mine, but it's also personal. Was technically a professional baseball player for 11 years. I would always get these messages from stupid dipshit trolls online that would try to think they were insulting me heavily by calling me a certain character name. Oh, whatever, Crash Davis. You mean the wisest and most nuanced character ever written in any fucking sports movie ever?
Is this meant to be a fictional? Is this a movie or novel? It's movie.
you could say novel if you want, but yeah. movie.
Joe wants you all to know
I like,
he
I'll
reads.
say in sports, Roy Hobbs. I think the Roy Hobbs that's a fantastic character.
And
I love that.
by the way, real quick, your idea of a remake of The Natural, because I would always say, don't ever fucking touch The Natural until you told me your idea. I'm like, touch The Natural.
The remake of The Natural would make it from the Negro League, so that a guy like John. Let's face it, man. It's like, Babe Ruth and Ted Williams and so on.
They were not.
And they just weren't. They were playing against a bunch of other white guys, and it's that like let's joke about there he is, old lefty. He's a 47-year-old alcoholic. 6'5", 40 speed. It's like it's true.
Nobody can hit old Curly's pitch.
Oh, Curly, sorry. Oh, Curly.
Old Hoss Radburn on the mound right now, throwing him his old spitter.
Yeah. Here comes the old 56-mile-an-hour EPIS pitch or whatever the hell they're. So it was. So I think that's it. But I thought that would be a really good idea, and I went and pitched it to Columbia, and it was crickets.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah. But I think it's a great. Listen, I think traditionally baseball movies are tough, man. They're tough to even bang the drum slowly, or Field of Dreams is probably the most famous, most successful baseball. I'm trying to think more. If there's maybe Major League made more money because it was more, but De Niro banged the drum slowly, which is like a, I'm trying to think, even what is it, Pride of the Yankees? And
Pride of the Yankees.
There's been movies that have, but it's a tough nut to crack, man. So I think it has a lot to do with that, and again, it's period. It's this, which I think, listen, AI right now is making it much easier to do these types of things and make them period films and make them cost effective, which I think is a great thing. But yeah, that was my idea for the natural, which I thought would have been really cool.
You know what? We are in the world of biopics. I feel like the only way to make like a baseball movie at this point, it has to be a biopic. But there is a biopic I would love to see, and I think it's because I'm from Los Angeles, and it's because if you know the history of Chavez Ravine and how Chavez Ravine was built and how dark of a story it is, how Chavez Ravine was built, I think a Fernando Valenzuela biopic would be absolutely fantastic to watch.
That's a fantastic idea, dude. That's great, because that was also, listen, that was a unifying moment because I've always loved how like Latino Latin centric the Dodgers are. Like that's, I love going out there and hearing mariachi music and hearing ranchero music, and it's like very much that's just the fabric of LA. But what happened in that region and the way that was handled, the way that kind of the O'Malleys, the way they came in there and the city just kind of really, they leveled that was a whole community up there at Chavez Ravine. So, but that Fernando thing felt like a really unifying moment for the city, and this kid coming out of nowhere his rookie season and just blowing everybody away. And everybody loves those types of stories. And then Fernando coming back and throwing that no, like whatever, 10 years. I mean, it was just this great, man. That'd be a dynamite idea, dude, for a biopic. I think it'd be great.
Netflix, you know my number. You know my number, Netflix. Anyways, I'm not gonna play them, but I got ideas. Anyways, that's it for Let's Rock. Let's get back over to sports, and I guess it's a really Rams heavy day. The Nakua family's in the news, Joe. Have you seen? It's really, really good shit too.
I mean, what is that, dude? What is going on? I don't know what. He seems like a really good kid. What are you doing, dude? And by the way, go ahead, Deck. I'd love to hear your take on this whole thing, man.
Well, as a Jewish athlete, and by the way, those of you who don't know, Puka Nakua has been on Beadle and Decker, and I got to tell you, we had him on last Radio Row during the Super Bowl. I found him to be charming. I found him to be lovely, super nice, incredibly humble. But again, I also looked at him like, oh, you're also an NFL player, so you're also not a Rhodes Scholar. And that's not a thing he needs to be. But my issue is, those of you who don't know, I never heard of Aiden Ross until this fucking week. Apparently, I live the most charmed life in the world, and I had no idea who this cat was until Rock comes in and tells me how much this guy sucks. And then all of a sudden, this guy's just in like my feed a bunch of times, and now the video comes out of him with Puka Nakua, teaching Puka Nakua a dance that he says he makes him do for one on camera, and then gets him to guarantee that he'll do it as a touchdown dance. Come to find out, the dance is a very anti-Semitic dance making fun of Jews. And allegedly it's supposed to mimic a dreidel, and then clasping your hands together like a greedy Jewish person is like the idea of it. And my issue is not necessarily, listen, Aiden Ross is clearly a little bitch. That's not my point. I just wanted to get that out there. My point is simply this. Puka Nakua, I will give you the grace that you had no idea what you were doing in that particular moment. I'll give you that grace. But here's the problem. You are an NFL star. You are paid to be an NFL star. NFL laughingly puts choose hope and embrace freedom and all their fucking helmets and their sides.
And racism. Yeah.
And racism, yet we got this shit. And there's clearly not going to be any punishment. And if he does the dance, because clearly Puka's been talked to a few times about this, I have to assume, if he does the dance, he should be fucking suspended, period, stop. That being said, my issue is not even necessarily with Puka. My issue specifically is with Puka and who he's clearly surrounding himself with, because whoever allowed you to go on that fucking show, someone is failing you behind the scenes, and someone must be intentionally doing. So whoever the fuck you got hiring to get you to do these things, fire them. Fire them harshly. Then rehire them so you can fucking fire them again and do it publicly. Because frankly, this is a real bad look. And any athlete that goes on this cat's podcast, dude, punch yourself in the fucking face. I'll wait.
Yeah. Well, it's also, did this idiot explain anything about the origins? Did he say, I would assume that Puka Nakua knew, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this was an incredibly racist, anti-Semitic thing to do, that he would have avoided it at all costs. So I would
assume that as well.
That little shithead did something, maybe a sleight of hand or what have you. But I think in furtherance of that, you must I think you come out, you get right out in front of it. You go, you know what? That was a epically dumb thing. I had no idea that that's what it meant. And that's my fault for taking this person on faith. Great. And then never do it again. And also what you're saying, Dak, it's like, listen, kid, you're 177th round pick. Whoever was with you at the time, if they're still with you, get rid of them. They don't understand the game. They don't understand where you are right now, and the fact you basically ran Cooper Kupp out of LA.
Yeah.
it's like one of the superstars. And by the way, Devontae Adams is on that team, and it's like who? It's like everything is about Nakua, and I think you have to now understand that guy, in terms of that, along with Stafford, is the face of that franchise, and you can never have something. You can't have a blown a miscue this large again. But if he did it in a heartfelt way and he was really apologetic and it seemed sincere, okay, he's a kid, but just never let it happen again.
Yeah, and by the way, Puka's, again, I've met him. He was a lovely cat. He really was. But it's just the thing that's bugging me is clearly somebody is working with him that does not have Puka's best interests in mind. It's not just that he's an NFL superstar. Dude, he's an NFL superstar in Los Angeles. This ain't the fucking place to play around with this shit. I don't think there's any place to play around with this shit, but LA sure as shit ain't it.
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right. And I think, again, like I said, if there's real contrition there and there's a real sense that, hey, I blew it, and this got away from me, and I took the wrong advice to the wrong person, and that will be remedied, then by all means, man, and also I can't imagine this is a young man of color. You don't want to be that guy, man. Yeah. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be viewed that way. And as much as we're dealing with right now with anti-Semitism and this bullshit that's going on globally, we don't need any fuel on that fire whatsoever. We need to be really mindful of that and manage these things very, very carefully and astutely and again, just be smart about it, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But guys, as we think about the Nakua family, and you look at Puka Nakua's brother Samson Nakua,
listen, he just wanted a car.
Well, it's more than that. Last year, he slapped a fan in the face because he was talking shit.
Yep.
Like, you have to be able to limit yourself. You have to be able to have that filter. And obviously, the Nakua family has not taught a filter. So I don't know if Puka Nakua, Cody, as much as you liked him on Radio Row,
it was 10 minutes. Trust me, I don't know the cat. I just spoke to him for 10 minutes, and he was nice. But you might have a point because it's right there in the rundown right there. Puka Nakua's brother is currently under arrest with another suspect for stealing, and I can't believe this is real, Laker rookie Adu Tyro's car. Did I get his name right, by the way? I hope I did.
Yeah.
Okay, Adu Tyro's car. Apparently, and of all the cars to steal, just another athlete in Los Angeles on the Lakers. That's fucking wild, dude.
I just don't. I think, Shane, I understand attributing criminal behavior and kind of, outlandish behavior. By the way, there's Nick Reiner, and then there's the other Reiner children that are not sociopathic. So I think that is something that we just have to, I wouldn't want to be, my brother is tremendous, so I don't mind being compared to him. But like, I think that, again, these are things that you try to get in front of, you try to manage, you try to hire the best PR people. You don't want these things to repeat. You don't want to become an issue. You don't want to become a problem child. You don't become a Deshaun Watson where somebody's like, life's too short, or somebody, or Odell Beckham Jr. Somebody's just like, we don't want this guy. It's like the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Yeah. And I don't think that's the case with Puka. I think, again, as long as he's coming out and he's really being, whatever else his family's doing, I think that's separate and apart from him.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. Listen, we've talked a lot of sports. In my opinion, too many. So what do you say we shiggle?
Shiggle's coming up.
Shiggle.
It's all about shits and giggles on this show, and I'll go ahead and start. This is what I'm shit and giggling about. Apparently, there is a bartender in Denver, Colorado, and this bartender has a decent following on TikTok. In case you kids don't know, that TikTok is a social media app that all your kids and grandkids are currently on. Here's the deal. If you're a bartender, you sometimes get privy to some interesting information. So say you're just bartending and two dudes walk up and they start talking about all the people that they're banging. And then one of them announces kind of to the bar, yeah, I'm an announcer at ESPN. And then announces that he's married and then proceeds to show the bartender all the women he's hooking up with behind his wife's back. Well, here's the thing. This bartender has gone on TikTok and released a video about it, not revealing the name of the ESPN announcer that apparently is doing all these things, but people are starting to speculate who it is, and there are a lot of sleuths out there because how many ESPN announcers were in Denver at this exact time? So My question is this, because people are going back and forth, not necessarily about the dude being a scumbag, which I do find interesting. People are arguing about, did this bartender break bartender code by revealing this? Joe, is there anything called bartender code? I didn't know it was a fucking confessional.
I mean, priests and lawyers. I never thought bartender is the third in that little trifecta. No, bartender code.
Yeah, the
What
old
the fuck
bartender
are you
code.
No, it doesn't exist. It's like, by the way, we have to assume, was this bartender male, female? Was this particular?
This bartender was a
personality type?
very attractive female, so you know the dude was putting out the dog whistle. See, I cheat on my wife, so if you want to later, you know what he was doing.
He had baited the hook and was seeing how long he could leave it in the water. That's all was going on there. So no, there's no code after that. And if you're being a deliberate scumbag and deliberately, showing and knowing that you are who you are, then no, there's no code. And by the way, it's like you should be outed if you're gonna be that blatant about it. Knowing, by the way, ESPN doesn't have the best history with dealing with some of their let's face it,
not ESPN.
Yeah.
That's the 4-letter.
Yeah, so I think that's idiotic and ridiculous or absurd to assert that there's some sort of fucking omerta, like you're in the mob, like silence. It's like that's stupid.
Yeah.
Now, do we know who it is?
Not yet, but listen. I normally wouldn't care, but I do now.
Could it be both of our least favorite? Can we both have the same shiggle and be like our least
Dude,
favorite?
if it's dipshit, I will be the happiest man on fucking earth. But I don't even know if that cat's married, nor do I care to find out.
Oh my God.
I can't see it, but
I can't see it.
I
Who the
literally
fuck would
can't
put up
see
with
it.
that shit? Can you imagine
my
coming
God,
home
no.
to that? Lakers!
No.
Oh, fuck that. Oh.
Awful. Every time I see him, I have a physical reaction. It's like, and but you have like Ryan Clark, very handsome, then you have that guy. It's like, good God, did you not do anything?
I'm looking right into the camera, and I'm telling you, I cheat on my wife.
By the way, I haven't named a name.
By the way,
Ryan
Clark is handsome. I got to admit, I've never actually looked up from that fucking lapel brooch that he's been rocking for the last 3 years.
Well, you got you look at idiot, or you look at Mr. Willy Wonka by way of steampunk 1890s birdhouse Cam Newton with the worst fucking eyewear I've ever seen. It's like,
wait a second,
my God,
those hats have to cost something.
They have to cost more than anyone should ever spend for a chapeau that looks that awful. I mean, it's terrible.
It's a look. Listen, I'm not against the glass. Listen, I have become glasses guy since the top came off, and I feel good about that. That being said,
those are good glasses, dude. They don't make you look like Mr. Moto from some horrible old cartoon. It's like they're awful. It's like, what is that? What are you wearing, dude? It's like I don't get that one bit.
I will admit, I did love how furious he got about the whole Philip Rivers thing. He just took it so personally, and I can't help but laugh at that. It's just made me laugh.
I find Cam to be a hater. It's like, dude, you were a phenomenal quarterback, and then you weren't. And rather than acknowledge, okay, you know what, my skills diminished, and I wasn't a pro quarterback anymore. You just got to shit on everybody else. It's like, pal, I thought Philip Rivers, they didn't win. But I thought he did really well for being, 50 pounds overweight and no mobility whatsoever, and he kept them in the game.
Dude, like a cigar store Indian getting back in that pocket. I couldn't get enough of it. Just couldn't get enough of it.
They time it with a sundial, not a stopwatch, but God bless him.
Joe, you got anything you're shiggling about today?
Listen, I just love that tomorrow the Epstein files are going to be, the full, and I love that Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene, two of, if you'd asked me 6 months ago, my least favorite, have become these kind of anti-heroes for me in a way that I love them, have vowed to any name that's redacted, they're going to read on the floor of the House, which I just think is tremendous. So watching that giant orange gelatinous dipshit slowly kind of wilt away has been my particular shiggle. And that idiotic speech that he made last night.
Oh, it was great.
I think that there's a restorative thing coming, and I think we're going to get our shit back together. The problem is, my other shiggle is, I think the Democrats are feckless and horrible. And
we are.
And I think it was who just said it wasn't. It was somebody like Chip Roy, again, another Republican. I understand why everybody just wants to wipe out Congress and wipe out the Senate and start new. It's like, yeah, I could absolutely get that, So, but it is interesting that like the truth is beginning to catch people, and I think that's always a good thing.
Yeah, I did like. I did learn something last night though during that wonderful speech. I learned apparently CVS owes me like 10 grand because I went yesterday and got. I heard it's 600% like.
Yeah, a bunch of money.
Yeah.
I'm going too. I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
I want my.
I'll see you at CVS in an hour, dude. Fuck.
Laugh and just more of a worry is more people with the Nakua stuff becoming aware of Aiden Ross and this weird that's happening on the internet, and I think it can't be ignored. But yeah, I think kind of
Love it. What about you, Shane? In Chicago.
Are you guys familiar with what's called barber superiority? Do you know this?
Barber superiority. Talk to me, Goose.
Okay. So I walk into my barber's appointment this morning 5 minutes early, and the guy that I go to owns the shop, right? So I walk right up to his chair because it's my turn. 3 dudes who are sitting waiting for walk-ins get super pissed because I walked in and I got my chair immediately. Here's the thing. If you go to a barber for long enough, you get priority.
Agreed.
You get to go to the guy who owns the shop. So, because that's always the best barber, right? So I walk in and I go to the best barber because my appointment is then, and these guys are all trying to start shit because they were there for walk-ins and this guy was waiting for me. Tough luck. Go to a barber consistently, and I'm shiggling about those dudes who are waiting for much longer. My haircut's 45 minutes. It's a bald fade, and then he trims up my beard, which it doesn't look like he did, but I haven't showered yet. So I am shiggling at barber superiority and people who are mad that they don't get the best barber in the shop.
I agree. This is more than fair. This is more than fair to me. As a guy that goes to a barber and I'm desperate to find an LA barber right now, I haven't found my cat yet. Dude, yeah, no doubt about it. And frankly, did you have an appointment or you just know the dude and you just walk in and did your walk-in thing and you just get priority?
Yeah.
That's Shane is totally reasonable. Totally reasonable. And by the way, if you're a long-term regular and it's like, sorry, that's just the way it is. And by the way, you wouldn't have cut in front of somebody else who'd also been a long-term guy. Like,
no.
Listen, it's the same way. It's like you call and make an appointment and someone's waiting for you. I love it.
Yeah, it's an unwritten rule. Like same thing with like flying in planes. You're in the middle seat, you get both armrests. That's just the way it goes. You got to get something out of that horrible experience.
Very true.
Yeah. Joe, before we get over back to Shane with Shane's quick hitters, I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about the rip that's coming out next month and just a couple of movie questions in general. Dude, one, how this movie kind of came together for you. Like, you're making some movies and some of which are not the more mainstream movies that you've gotten to do in the past, and then you write this script and all of a sudden people are jumping all over it. And I got to be on set and see how the whole thing was working and operating and seeing how you're maneuvering that set. It was not unlike a really well-oiled sports team, baseball team, that just everybody knew what they were doing. And you at the helm kind of just leading the way in a very energetic and fun way was really fun to watch for me.
Yeah, I think if you give, I think that you spend enough time in this business, and I've done movies for no money. I've done movies for a lot of money, and I think the tools remain the same. But again, like I mentioned earlier, it's like, you put a bat in my hand with the right guys, the right team, or you let me manage the right group of guys, which I had on that movie. We're gonna do good stuff. That it becomes this kind of moment in time where these types of movies don't necessarily get made anymore, and there's an extra added kind of thing. And you're also, listen, you got 40 years of these guys' friendship. I mean, it's extremely rare that you get 2 guys that are best friends that also become huge movie stars. It's almost unheard of. Mm-hmm. So it was just a pleasure in every capacity, because I wrote that script coming out of an awful relationship with this person who was not a good human being, and I'll save my comments for it. It was just not a great scenario. And I had to rebound off that and wrote this thing. And And it just, again, I think it was one of those right place, right time. And once in a while, the universe will award the blind squirrel with the golden acorn, which is what that was. So it was, yeah, man. That the movie came out as good as it did is testament to a lot of people, Artist Equity, Matt Ben, a lot of the executives, Kevin Hale, the director, Juan Miasbros, the DP. There's a lot of wonderful, that cast, you name it. It worked. And you got to see it kind of, nuts and bolts, which is interesting because you're right there, and then these things just take on a life of their own, which is also wild. And then just to see what they're doing, like you won't in the next month, you won't be able to turn on a game and not see something about this movie. It's crazy.
Awesome. That is awesome, dude. That is just so cool. Yeah. And by the way, I'm glad you mentioned the two best friends I grew up, Matt and Ben. They become movie stars together in just the wildest way. I did get to see a little bit of that watching these two who've known each other for 40 fucking years, because there was a scene you were shooting. It looked like it was in the back of a truck, kind of a shootout scene that was pretty fun. But I loved they were both sitting on the floor, and Matt was like telling somebody to do something, and Ben hilariously, "Oh, are you?" I'm just sitting there like, this is fucking great, dude.
They give each other shit in the funniest ways, man. It's like it's great, man. It's great to watch them because it's all in good fun and again, understanding one another's talent and how you can't ask for a better scenario. That was the most fun of absolute polished killers I've ever had around me. So it was amazing.
Like just the litany of stars you've gotten to work. I know I've talked to you about this before. I mean, and it seems like you've always kind of grabbed like you got Chris Pine before he became Chris Pine, and like all these kind of guys. Bradley Cooper in the A-Team, and then he hits the stratosphere. Ryan Reynolds, and then he hits the stratosphere. Like, is there a young cat out there that you're getting ready, that you're going to eventually work with, that you're just going to throw into the stratosphere?
Well, listen, I don't think I'm going to throw him in the stratosphere. I think this guy, but I just saw, Josh O'Connor on the Knives Out Ryan's movie, which I really enjoyed, and I feel like that guy's a big star. That dude's a big star. I just want something like that. I want to work with, because we just see what a kind of pure. Marshall Cook, who's in Not Without Hope, that not a lot of people are going to see.
He was great.
Is extraordinary in that movie, and I think that guy. In a day and age where we don't have a lot of strong male centric kind of real old school kind of throwback guys that are handsome and do all that shit that we love and are really great at their craft and can emote and do all these things. I think that guy's a five-tool guy. I really do. And I want to see him be really successful because nobody wanted him in that film, and I fought for him, and he busted his ass to be great, and he was. And so I'm excited to see what that guy can do. Hopefully, again, as people start to see that, or it pervades onto streaming services and more people get an opportunity to check it out. I think that'll be really great. I'm excited for you.
And by the way, just so you guys know, Not Without Hope is out right now. You should check it out. Joe's current movie, and Marshall Cook. And I'm not kidding. I sent Marshall a text after seeing the movie. His moment in the movie, it stayed with me. I sent him a text saying how fantastic I thought he was in it. Really, I hit the nail, hit it out of the park with that performance, I thought.
Oh, he hit it out of the park. It's a dynamite. It's a nuanced, beautiful, powerful performance, and he deserves all the love he's going to get. And he earned every bit of it, man.
Awesome. And it's good to see good people get good shit happening to them, especially in this industry.
Absolutely.
Man. It's wild. Let's bring Shane in for some Shane quick hitters.
Yeah, I ended it for you.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, they're just the guy that's quick on his. He's also got a big theater background, and and you get people like that are just facile and agile, and they're in the moment. Yeah, absolutely. But that's like, listen, Reynolds is like that, and Pine is like that, and Patrick Wilson is like that. There's always these really talented actors that are just so good in a moment and so good in an ad lib that others not as good. But those you're talking about, those there's a really great crop of actors like that. And you're right. Yeah, he's fantastic, man.
All right, so hand-to-hand stuff. Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul tomorrow. Of combat sports, or is it good for the sport?
Well, I'm going to that on the card. Some of those fighters in the cards with him is great. I think it's a competitive environment for everybody. Listen, whether or not there's these clauses that he can't be knocked out or he can't be, who knows, man? It's like there's a lot of theater there, and I think that for my own, Josh is probably going to starch this guy, and it's going to be, But if it's a real fight, you can tell it's a real fight. I've been watching, boxing certainly long enough to go, okay, I can tell somebody's fight. I did not believe in the veracity of that fight. Watching Mike continue to fight his lead hand like a tick. Don't throw that lead jab and that 1-2 that's so devastating that he throws. He didn't throw it at all. So that was to me very suspect. But I think that there's room in boxing. And again, Shane, knowing how crooked guys like Bob Arum and Don King and they've been robbing fighters for years.
Say one more time, Shane.
You got me, Cody?
Yeah, I got you.
Are you buying the fight? Are you buying the fight?
Maybe. Here's the deal. That Tyson pissed me off so much. I just can't. I don't think I can do it. Set a fucking the rip, actually, watching that fucking fight. That was tough.
Yeah, you were. That's right, bro. I get it, dude. I get why that.
Joe, retiring at 42-0, the only boxer in the four being that successful.
Shane, I think the act itself is a shrewd marketing move, so that he gets a bit of relief in terms of, because he wants that Canelo money. I don't know why you wouldn't. All this bullshit about the multiple belts you hold. Now you have to do a mandatory against this guy or mandatory against that guy. I can see where Crawford's like, I don't want to do that, because he's dusted up multiple divisions, and I flew from Oklahoma to spar him, and he was all by himself. And he said, I realized I turned it up on him. I kept turning it up on him. This guy kept leveling up. And the next time I saw him days later, he'd completely changed his style. It's like he had a photographic memory. He remembered everything I was going to do. And he was all by himself. Crawford Bud is a very fighter. And I can't imagine, what is he, 36, maybe 37? That it's
37.
I just think, listen, he wants a gigantic payday, and he'll probably get it.
Mm-hmm.
Cody, you buying that fight?
Yes.
You buying it when Terrence Crawford comes back?
Yes. I think he's right. I think it's a marketing ploy, and I think he's going to get himself one hell of a payday. Don't know who it's going to be, but it's going to be one hell of a It always bugged me when this went out, because I was just like, God, somebody's got to knock out Lennox Lewis, right? And it just kind of, that was like the beginning of the end of boxing for me, because after Lennox Lewis, I could never keep track of who was
really bad era in the heavyweight division. You had guys like Chris Bird, who's a fine fighter. I remember going to call those guys that were, then you had guys like Roy Jones Jr., who was so dominant but weren't going to fight at that. Andre Ward, the guys that weren't going to fight in those higher divisions. So you lost a lot of it. But I'm with you, man. It's like, but also none of those guys ever fought. Tyson spent those 3 years away from the sport, and they never fought that guy when he was still just an absolute, wrecking ball of a monster.
Yeah.
So who knows who knows when Lennox fought him when he did, he was not the same guy. So, it's tough. It's tough to know how that would have years earlier with a still kind of ferocious Mike Tyson.
All right, before I move on, one more for you, Joe. Give you 15 seconds. Is John Jones the best MMA fighter of all time?
I would say it's Mighty Mouse. I would say it's DJ, but that's not a popular take.
No.
I think John Jones is a wrecking ball, and I think had he not had the issues he had, probably, yeah. Mm-hmm. But DJ's just a smaller fighter that was every bit as dominant, and I would also put GSP up there, man.
GSP was.
But yeah, listen, I'm not taking anything away from John Jones, man. It's a shame that he had the issues he had, because I think that there's always going to be a blight, an asterisk on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so number 11, Miguel Rojas has worn it for a while for the Dodgers. He gave it up to Roki Sasaki when he came here from Japan. He gave to Miguel Rojas a couple bottles of sake that's very popular in Japan. Right? He gave that number up. That was his superstition, number 11. Love number 11. But during the World Series, he hit a homer, number 11, now number 23, on November 1st, 2025 at 11:11. Do you guys have any superstitions?
It's amazing.
It's insane.
And that his wife also told him, "You're going to hit a home run tonight," and he hadn't hit a home run off a right-handed pitcher in like 17 years.
Yeah.
And he pushed it to left field.
Yeah.
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 My superstition was wearing the number 6. I always wore the number 6, and I couldn't. Padres. I wore it all through the minor leagues, but they informed me heavily I can't wear. Padres retired for, get ready for this.
Right.
Superstitions, not really, honestly. I'm not a very superstitious person. I'd honestly have to think about it. So I guess that speaks.
So you would say that you're a little stitious.
I'm a little stitious.
You're somewhat
not
stitious.
super. Yeah, I'm somewhat stitious, not super.
Mildly stitious.
Somewhat stitious.
Exactly.
Suspect stitious.
I'm mildly stitious.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked a little bit earlier about the Bears expanding their search to maybe Northwest Indiana. I can tell you it's bullshit. Nobody believes it. But how would you feel about your
States. And by the way, the state it moved away from is closer than the city they moved back to. So I don't give a shit.
Were you a Rams fan before, or you're a 49ers fan? Have you always been a 49ers fan?
Detroit Lions when I was a kid, but it was a different time, brother. You couldn't, when I was a kid, I moved out here in 1983, you couldn't keep track of a team like you can keep track of a team now. It's a very different time. You know, it's like now you go on the internet, I can watch whomever. You could be a distant fan. And so you're like, well, I want to follow the NFL, but I'm not going to see any Lions games because we're in the San Francisco, Oakland, and the Raiders weren't a kind of a, you know, I think my dad always kind of bristled against the Raiders because they were like, you know, it's like those damn bikers, those goddamn bikers and meth heads, whatever. So, but again, I'm still the Raiders. Like if the Raiders are around and out of the AFC, I still prefer the Raiders. But yeah, it was tough to move, tough to shift that easy, but very difficult then.
All right, one more for you guys. Cody, I know you care about the World Baseball Classic because Tigers ace was just added to the WBC roster. Do we care at all? As Americans, do we care at all about the USA WBC roster?
Probably not, mainly because I saw what that Dominican roster. There ain't a grouping of 9 Americans. Also, I've also seen what might be on the Japanese.
Question of times, man. I don't think baseball's nearly as vital or as important or critical as it used to be 30 years ago.
You say that though, dude. This last World Series ratings would actually yell otherwise.
I know, brother. I think that series was amazing. I don't to get out there.
That's fair.
Over basketball and soccer and football.
That's fair. And also baseball is
so like I think the invention of and the implementation of the pitch clock has been great for moving those games along, you know. But it's lost its kind of stranglehold. When I was a kid,
we talked about on the show. I'm just going to reflect on something else. Joe, and I do go back and forth. Sometimes I say it's Narc because it was the first introduction I had into you, and I love that fucking movie, and the ending of it absolutely rips my heart out. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Boss level I've ever had in my life reading a script in my life, and I really enjoy that movie. The Gray, I saw that at a very cool point in my life to where I'm like, that movie just floored me. But dude, a movie of yours that I can watch at any fucking time, and I just have because it's turned into comfort food for me. Your movie, and I'm glad you mentioned Patrick Wilson. Dude, Stretch is a fucking blast of a movie.
It is.
It's funny as shit, and in my opinion, I think it's Chris Pine's very best performance he's ever given.
It never, dude, for whatever reason, I agree with you 100%. It's still never gotten the love that I think that movie deserves because I think it's wildly underrated. It's my kind of Scorsese after hours, you know, one night, and then we shot it in Hollywood. we made the movie for like $5 million, and the amount of action we got, like the limo chase on the freeway and all that stuff. It's like we did some amazing things in that movie. Never got you listen, you're always waiting for like, do I think the rip will create a reverberation? There'll be an appreciation for like, wait, what else does this guy do? But I always felt like, listen, I was never a member of the nerd squad or the geek squad or the kind of it's like, listen, if you put Tarantino and I in a football field and have us throw a football, I think you'd be shocked what that would look like.
I don't think I'd be shocked at all what that would look like.
I think you'd be stunned or baseball or anything you want to do, But again, I think it's just listen. I've never been part of that. What that version of the cool kids thing is. So, I think a lot of these times it's like it's kind of taken for granted. It's like, whatever. But I'm with you. I think it's one of my favorite. I love watching that movie. It might be my girlfriend's favorite movie of mine.
It's fun.
She loves it.
It's so fun. Everyone's great in it. Yeah. It's a blast. If you guys have never seen Stretch, do yourself a favor and get on Digital Day and watch Stretch. It is a fucking fun movie, dude.
You'll have fun. I promise. You'll have fun. And Patty Wilson is just the most, maybe the most talented guy. It's like he's just so good, so effortlessly good. You take it for granted how great he is, and I love working with him.
Love it. Joe, what are you reflecting on?
Oh man, I don't. You know what? How nice life is at the moment, at least for the foreseeable future, right? It's like a lot of people are dealing with a lot of rough things, and I want their lives to improve and get better. And all you can do, I think, in that moment is to have this gratitude for the universe around you and go, for whatever reason, I'm getting some breaks, and I think that you hope that is something that you can pay forward, or you can look around and go, you know what, if it's good for me, I want to make it good for other people and try to help out and try to be communal and try to reach out and be expansive where you can in that way and be helpful and so on. So I don't know, man, it's like I want to see us do better as a society, and I want to use whatever the way I feel now and feeling like, okay, things are going all right, and move that energy outward, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's great.
And just tip your hat to the life we have, and it could be miserable, it can also be beautiful and great, and you got to always err on the side of try to face each day with a modicum of happiness and hopefulness, and without sounding corny, and I think they'll only yield good things.
Love it. It's great. Absolutely love it. Rock. What do you reflect?
No, I'll just echo what Joe was saying. I mean, the last weekend I think was so uniquely dark in a year that's been kind of dark, and I think the only thing we can do is focus on the light and the things that bring us happiness and the things that make us feel good, the things that bring us together. Because I think a lot of people have gotten confused and think that hate is a good unifying force, and it's not. And I just think, coming into the holidays, Christmas is in a week, just focus on the good and really make an effort to only focus on that, because the darkness, everything else is going to find us. So I think that's a good
that's great.
Yeah, it's good.
Dig it. Shane in Chicago. What are you reflecting on?
Yeah, guys, I mentioned yesterday that I had to put my dog of a long time down on Monday, and I decided to organize a fund in her name just to help people experience the same kind of connection that I had with her. And we raised over like $1,000 in less than a day. So I'm reflecting on that being wonderful. That's going to account for 4 or 5, maybe even 6 adoptions. And as we keep going, it'll get more than that. So I'm reflecting on people hopefully going to Paw Chicago and adopting a dog from their shelter and having the same connection that I had with mine for so long.
That's lovely, brother.
That is
great.
Wonderful, and what a great thing to do in Millie's name. And dude, we are still with you, Shane, and thank you for doing that and giving other people a wonderful thing in their lives as well.
Absolutely, man.
Joe, what can I say, man? We did it. We got through it.
We did it, pal.
It was a blast, man. Got to talk movies, got to talk 49ers, got to make fun of the
thank
Nakua
you.
family.
All over the bubble, man.
Yeah, not a damn thing we didn't fucking hit today, and
great.
I feel
I love it,
damn
man.
good about it, dude. And
I feel
guys,
great as well. No, it was a pleasure.
I don't know what else to tell you. You better go see The Rip on Netflix next month. It's going to be a badass experience. And by the way, I want to reiterate this. Go watch Stretch. It is so fucking good.
Use it as a primer before you watch The Rip. Yeah.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, of course, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We know we were a little glitchy today. We'll make sure that's taken care of tomorrow. So we want to thank everybody in the chat who stayed with us throughout the entire show. Also want to make sure, check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. That's Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify, you name it. Not to mention, like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, Twitch, wherever you can find us. And stay tuned. We will have plenty of clips coming out from today's show and yesterday's show all through the weekend. And yes, tomorrow, a special Friday show, noon Pacific. We got Tanya Ray Fox as co-host week comes to an end, and we will have Michelle Beadle back here live on Monday, where she's going to yell at me for probably something that I did wrong this week. And I'm looking forward to that. Joe, you're the man. Everybody, thank you for joining us. And as always, R.I.P. Estelle Getty.